What is good? Welcome back. Welcome in if you're new. How we all doing today? Hope you guys are good. I'm doing a part 2. I recorded these back to back. So Monday's video was me doing this aura reading build and aura reading add-ons and just bringing up the discussion, which I hope it has maybe opened a discussion and a conversation about is aura reading right now in Dead by Daylight a little bit too strong? Who knows? I hope the conversation has at least started with some people. I just want to say a massive thank you to anybody who's been checking out the videos as well. A couple of them have done really, really well, like beyond what I should be doing with my small little bubble of content creation. Some of them have done pretty well for our own little size. Like the Nemesis video has passed over 800 views, which I think is insane given our bubble. But I appreciate anybody. And again, if you guys have been checking out this and the last video, thank you very much. It's been really, really fun to be able to do these off stream and just kind of put out other Dead by Daylight kind of content that's just not sitting playing on stream. And I've really enjoyed working on the thumbnails for them. I don't know if they're amazing, if they're cool, if they're cringe. Any advice or little like tips that anybody wants to give me, please feel free to do so in the comments. Anybody at all, just comment on the video. Again, I have to plug it. Go follow us on Twitch. It's right there on the screen as well. There we are. Please come by and say hello. We're pretty nice. We're usually pretty chill. And yeah, maybe even, hey, leave a comment, hit the like. Comments do absolute numbers for algorithms and likes and stuff. It all does huge things for videos on YouTube. So anybody, please just leave a comment. Get into this discussion maybe. I'd like to talk about it even more because, again, this is a part 2 of the last video we did this week where I talked about is aura reading too strong right now on Dead by Daylight, and I said why not just put out 2 videos of it, of me playing as Xenomorph and Chucky, and just kind of see where the discussion maybe goes. So on that note, I do think we'll show us the game. We'll get into the game. It's an interesting game again. Given what was already posted on Monday, this is an interesting game. We'll get right into it though. We won't waste too much time. I got Ormond, and there's a familiar face in this game. I will have to say that David and me have had some interactions before that weren't entirely too nice, but I didn't realize that until after the game when I got some, again, pretty mean comments. I was getting told basically I'm what's wrong with Dead by Daylight and that I'm an exploiter and all kind of crazy things. But hey, that's the Dead by Daylight community sometimes. The game though, instantly off to a good start. I've got one person down right off the get-go, and out of nowhere, David just shows up there. My guy just comes out of nowhere. Like, genuinely just showed up out of nowhere. But the build, again, I need to talk about it because it's so oppressive. I thought getting put on Ormond for this game now, I was going, right, okay, Ormond isn't the best map for a build like this. I hit the person on the hook there as well by accident. I was like, you know what, if you're gonna unhook in front of me, I'll make a chase out of it. But like, it's not the strongest map is what I was thinking in my head. I was like, it's not gonna get much use. Maybe they'll be able to fight me back and it'll be a way more interesting video for the discussion. The team though themselves, even before it, the team themselves were a little bit confusing. I got so lucky with the pillar hit there. I broke the pallet and I tried to do the dash, but I got the pillar hit, so this guy had nowhere to go. Okay, we might have tunneled a little bit to start, but that's not entirely my fault, okay? It's not entirely my fault. It just kind of played out for me, and we had to go with it, okay? We did lose a gen pretty early this time. See, I won't spoil the entire game yet, but this is one of the matches where I felt like I definitely would have felt a lot more uncomfortable using the build. Gens are a little bit wider spread out. Survivors can kind of get in and around, but it depends on where they lose items. And my add-on, the green one, right, is every time you dash, you see their auras. With Lethal Pursuer, that extends it, so you can see them for longer. And then there's a flashlight, like, right there. So I think you guys will find it funny when you see how this David plays later on, how I was the one getting hate messages and stuff, which again is not a big deal. I'm not going to get into it. We're not going to do drama content and shit where we're like, oh, this person's toxic, go fight them. It's whatever. I even contemplated just blacking out their name so you couldn't see it, but then I was like, it's not a big deal because I don't care. At the end of the day, Dead by Daylight, people will get mad about the game and then they'll move on. But this David, look at him. Yeah, he was teabagging the life out of me here. Every chance he gets for the rest of the game, you're going to see this guy teabagging. Right, but I was the toxic exploiting person or something, so it was just me shaking my head because like, well, we don't need to be teabagging. We don't need to be teabagging. You know, I could get real mean right now if I need to, but we don't. We play for the build. To be fair to us, we play for the build, and it works pretty well. It worked pretty well the entire time there. I was seeing auras everywhere, even right there, right? If I didn't have the add-on that I have on with the build, I wouldn't have seen him there. I wouldn't have known he was there. I would have thought he would have moved off. But instead, because of the add-on, again, if plot twist as well, if you run aura reading add-ons with this build, they all get extended. Like whatever the timer is on every single add-on that's an aura reading add-on gets extended because of Lethal Pursuer. And then the entire build is about aura reading. So like, and especially on a character like Chucky where you can have no terror radius and just see everybody. Like right here, I just dash up and everybody dead, no fucking clue. And then of course David has to give me a little bag because that's his entire game plan. And even in the distance there, I can just see him teabagging me like, okay, cool. But hey, again, I was the toxic one supposedly. And then he gets absolutely slapped up in his pallet, and I was like, yes, this David, he's getting the cheeks clapped up on him. But you know, like, and then I did hit him on hook. Okay, I was getting a little bit like, hey, if you're going to teabag, we're going to get a little bit back and forth. But you know, I'm not the one that was teabagging and being toxic at the start. I probably could have done better with that dash there. I probably played that one bad, but we get Jill running over this way, so we have to keep up on her, right? It's really like, it's weird because it's really showing how you make a build that has so much synergy and you don't even have a gen regression perk. Also the hook just perfectly popped up on me, but you don't have any like gen regression perks, but you're constantly on people and you're able to see basically 90% of what they're doing and you're able to keep up on it. And especially again, if you have a killer that has add-ons like this where you're able to see them a lot, you're just like, you're absolutely blessed to be able to see a lot more than you'd expect to. And again, look, David. I've watched this now a couple times. Watching over this, I get nicely head on there. I got baited into it by the locker open as well. But again, I'm the one that got called a bunch of names in PlayStation messages after, which, like, again, is one thing. I could have added them in the video and be like, look at the crap this guy said. But I was like, you know what? It's not a big deal. It's just whatever. But I was just playing the game. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just playing the game. He's the one teabagging at literally every opportunity he has. Very nice fake out from both of us there, between me and the Nia. I went to fake the dash and she went to fake the window, but unfortunately tried to do a corner hide and got herself caught. Which, when I hooked her here, I was like, you know, David's definitely 100% like gonna get that, because they seemed like they were a very good team together with each other. So I just keep up on everything. But besides the way this game goes, the game on Monday, if you haven't checked out the video, go watch the last video. We played a Xenomorph game using this exact build, just different add-ons obviously because of Xenomorph, and it went just as well as this did. I did a little quick check there just to make sure there was no like hatch offerings, but it went just as well as this did. And now, unfortunately, there's a little bit of a standoff between myself and David here towards the end, but I'll talk over it while we're going, because again, the discussion I really want to bring from doing these two videos this week is this too strong? Is it overpowered? Because like I said, I came into this match thinking Ormond is a very, very strong map for survivors. Even after the change, it's still pretty strong. Not overly powered like it was before. Like, it's still It's semi-decent. I wouldn't say it's a terrible Survivor map. Now, this back end of the map can be a little bit, but overall, it's not the worst, right? I'm looking for hatch right now. But if I had gotten a smaller map, like Dead Dogs in Xenomorph, or if I'd gotten like a Midwich, if I'd have gotten a Midwich, right, and I ran this build as Chucky, that's nearly a GG. Like, the minute we load in, that is almost a GG. The map is so small, items cover both floors, aura reading goes on for days. I could use, especially on Chucky, I could use that iridescent hard hat helmet and just break every pallet, and then they have nothing. They literally have nowhere to hide, nowhere to run, nothing to use. Like, I don't know, and I don't know what you can do if you get a good killer that plays like this. We also, spoiler, we have to wait out the entire time, as I'm able to watch both doors, and David just doesn't do anything because he wanted to spend the entire game teabagging, and then I was exploiting or something. There was a bunch of nonsense, but like, I don't know what like you could do in these situations, because there's a lot of aura reading perks at the moment. There's a lot of aura just reading perks going around in Dead by Daylight in general at the moment. There's a lot of options, and when does it become too much? Like, on top of add-ons as well, when you've got add-ons which synergize with perks like lethal, when does it become a little bit too much and a little over the top a little bit? Like, again, I'm all for different playstyles that isn't just gen regressing or whatever. You can come up with builds like this and it's a little bit fresh and it's a little bit different, but when it feels like you're running a build that can be very strong on basically any killer, like this build right here on a nurse is 100% a GG, which is 90% of builds on nurse anyway, but like, if there was any hope for anybody against the nurse, this is not it. You put this onto a blight as well, that's it, it's done. A blight on a small map, that's it, it's done. It's done, it's finished. You put this onto a small map with a blight, done. Finitoed. I don't know, I just want to put the conversation, I guess, out to you guys, because we're just watching as David, he hides in the shack and didn't even push a door, so he just had no intention. But I just kind of want to put the conversation out again to the Dead by Daylight community to just tell me, what do you think of builds like this? What do you think of the current push for aura reading builds? As I'm seeing a lot of them. So again, hey, you know what? Put it in the comments. Talk to me in the comments. I appreciate you guys who've watched. Check everything in the description and come by stream if you've never been in before. Come say hi. Tell us you came from YouTube if you have come from YouTube. And thank you for watching. I really just want a nice discussion out of this, so hopefully we get that. GG's, and I'll see you in the next video next week. Bye bye. Bye bye bye.